That was like my first love, the city of New York, like playing in MSG. Uh, so of course I have like this, not the best feeling.
Kristaps Porzingis, I usually like to call him Chris Snacks, ladies and gentlemen, has came out. He was on the Ariel show. Y'all know this man, he does major things, with MMA, boxing, WWE. This man is doing a whole lot of stuff. But Chris Snacks, he sat down today, and as a Knicks fan, I gotta be honest with you, I felt a little hurt, at what I was just witnessing, what I had to watch and listen to from Chris Snacks, because I know deep down he's hurt. I know you can have all the money in the world, but it ain't like New York City. And mind you, his career did not pan out to what we thought it was going to be, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Snacks Porzingis, I'm going to call him Chris Staps just off the benefit of the doubt, from basically he has validated everything that I've been saying for years. Let me tell you something right now, ladies and gentlemen. Before I even became people started rocking with Flight Sports, I was on this Porzingis train heavy. Shout out Basil Carpenter Jr. You already know what it is. A lot of dudes been rocking. If you've been rocking for a long time and you know what's going on, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you are a Knicks fan and you are validated, hit the subscribe button. Listen, Porzingis, he said that, you heard what he said, this was my first love, the city of New York. The fact that he gets so much hate here, he's having to find a hard time, figuring all that out, in my humble opinion. But you can't turn on New York. The Knicks drafted this man 4th overall, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, this was the draft with D-Lo. You had, obviously, pardon me, I'm forgetting some of these names already. Karl Anthony Towns, and then my man from Philly, who they drafted. I forgot his name. It'll come back to me. But he was all right, though. He ended up doing big things up there for the New Orleans Pelicans. When he ended up getting his draft. I'm gonna get the name coming up to me. It's crazy. I forgot this guy's name. But it'll come back to me. Parker, if I'm not mistaken, his name was. Yeah, like I said, it'll come back. But these guys, Porzingis, he did his thing. Pardon me, I said Parker. His name was Jalil Okafor. Excuse me. Forgive me. Shout out my man Jalil. He did his thing. So Chris Snacks coming from Latvia, mind you, Phil was there controlling things. You understand? The Knicks had a debacle of a season. They had Carmelo in the fold. So obviously it was hope there. So we thinking in New York, okay, we bringing in a 4th overall pick. We're going to get a diamond. So when we got Porzingis, we loved him. I don't think people understand Nick. And he said this was his first love, man. Nick, I had a Porzingis shot. I loved KP, y'all. Y'all don't understand. People love Porzingis. You talking about this man became a unicorn here for New York City. He was supposed to, and mind you, Carmelo groomed him. You understand? Groomed him to be the successor once he left. Carmelo knew he was going to ask for a trade and he had to leave. But Porzingis was being groomed by Carmelo to take the mantle to be the next face of the New York Knicks franchise, to take them in to the next level. Before Porzingis tore his ACL, ladies and gentlemen, before he tore his ACL, this man was basically, the Knicks was in 4th place in the Eastern Conference. They was on the up and up. So the fact that Porzingis elected to just say, the hell with everything, I'm leaving, I just thought that was very egregious. You understand? Because you were the face of the franchise, and I blame a couple of guys that was on that roster. I forgot this man, Cantor, pardon me. They had Enes Kanter on the Knicks roster. He was basically filling this dude head of mine. Enes Kanter is out the league right now, but for whatever reason, Enes Kanter had a little bit of voice, back then, so he's in there. What are the Knicks doing? Ladies and gentlemen, that was the Zion Williamson year where let me tell you something. Did you see what teams did for Victor Wembanyama? Let me tell you something. Zion Williamson, they try to make it seem like Victor is the most hype, like Zion just wasn't just walking through the door. You understand? When Zion came in, everybody was tanking, goddammit, including the New York Knicks. So the fact that they are in the backstage and running amok and really just pressing the organization. You had Steve Mills in there. Obviously, Scott Perry was there. You know, they went up. They literally went upstairs, and I'm talking Porzingis, his brother, everybody involved. They went upstairs to James Dolan. Mind you, Steve Mills is the president. Dolan don't handle no basketball operations. You understand? So Steve Mills was very alarmed at the fact that he went upstairs to the owner. When these guys, mind you, you are ailing from an ACL. The Knicks love this guy. They just hired Fizdale. We ain't gonna get into Fizdale, but Fizdale obviously was brought in on the wrong end of the stick because he's coming in thinking he's gonna coach Porzingis. He was very high on Porzingis, y'all. Yo, when Fizdale became the head coach of the New York Knicks, he was so ecstatic to coach him. He was telling Porzingis, chase MVP, chase MVP. Yo, let me tell you something. I feel sorry for Fizdale because nobody want to hear the truth that Fizdale walked into a messed up situation with the New York Knicks. You know, he was behind the 8 ball right away. You know, and they they end up trading him for my man DSJ, which was seemed on paper at the time like okay. And DSJ did all right for the portion that he was playing, but then after that he looked like a deer in headlights. You know, so I mean, it's just been a tough situation, man. But I love Porzingis, man. When he was in New York Knicks, I always remember those days. You know, but now we get to the trade. You know, mind you, before the trade got pulled off, they basically. Luka was already, they played in Dallas. Dallas came to New York. So it's not surprising that right after that game, the next day, they work out a deal and Porzingis is headed to Dallas. You seen the handshake from Luka. This dude was fighting to get to Dallas, to leave New York. You know, and the fact that he went upstairs, disrespected Steve Mills at the time and everybody, you know, so everybody got screwed, you know, because the face of the franchise just quit on the organization, you know, and now look at Porzingis. You know, look at the trajectory of his career now. He went to Dallas, thought everything was good. He thought the grass was green, everything was sweet. He found out right away, you are second fiddle. You are gonna carry the bags over here. You ain't gonna be no unicorn. You ain't gonna be the face of the franchise. You're gonna sit on the block and wait for me to pass you the ball. And Luka just sat up there and ran up all his numbers. You know, it was supposed to be a dynamic duo. All you heard was Luka. You know, and then he became the brunt of all jokes. They end up kicking him out, and Dallas end up going to the conference finals. This man, Porzingis, was supposed to be the face of the New York Knicks, but elected to carry bags in Dallas. Now you out in Washington making a fool of yourself. You understand? Now he want to come to New York. Let me tell you something right now. I would take him right now over Julius Randle. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. Bring KP back, kick Julius out the door. The Knicks fans will embrace Porzingis again if he came back because the Knicks drafted him. So at the end of the day, once a Knick, always a Knick. But we always going to be keeping that eye on this man Porzingis. He know he messed up, man. I don't like what happened, man, but I appreciate him acknowledging it. It's Flight Sports.